What's up, everybody? All right, I'm going to see if we can get this guy on the phone real quick. And just bear with me for 1 second. Calling him up right now. It's really exciting.
I'm sorry, but the person...
Bear with me. So we'll get him. It'll be fine. Anybody read this yet? Totally worth it. Pick it up. Really fun book. Been around for a long time. Well, I don't know how long. How long? I feel like I first heard about this maybe 10 years ago. But it's really sick.
But the person you called...
Son of a...
I'm sorry.
What's going on, John?
Hey, buddy, what's happening?
No, not much, man.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood?
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Lovely day in the neighborhood.
That is fantastic. Hey, everybody, I have got Josh Weaver on the phone. Can you believe that? After 10 or 15 or 20 attempts, he finally answered. That's pretty nice. Yeah, you never know.
Dead zone here.
The guy's busy. I can't really explain. So, hey, Josh, why don't you go ahead and take a second to introduce yourself. Tell those folks out there in the YouTube lands who you are, why you're here, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. So, honored to be here. So, my name, as John said, Josh Weaver. I came on board about January the 20th of this year, and been in the industry for a number of years. Recently been doing regulatory work, pesticide regulatory work. I was the beloved pesticide inspector, and so as well as working on a PhD at Clemson University in turfgrass science, and ironically enough, biostimulants.
Good old biostimulants.
Yes.
Was there a particular draw that led you down that path?
So when I finished my master's degree and I was looking at doing a PhD, I've always got Lawn and Landscape magazine or Golf Course magazine, and so every month I would get those magazines, and I kept seeing ads in there about biostimulants, and it just kind of put a fire in me to learn more about them. And so when I met with my advisor, or the guy that I was going to get my PhD under, we started trying to think of a project, and I said, well, what about these biostimulants? And he said, that's great, because there's a lot of buzz about them. And so this was in the fall of 17 when I started my research on biostimulants, and I've learned a lot about them. I've learned there's a lot out there on the market, and so that's actually what I did my research around, was biostimulants.
Very cool. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, we actually we were really hunting for somebody really good to take on a position. What is your position anyway?
Yeah, so my position is Director of Research in Horticulture.
Ah, there you go. It sounds important.
It does. It sounds important. And so, the way I envision the role, and the way we've kind of developed the role, is doing some research in-house with some of our products, and as well as working with universities on some of our products, and troubleshooting, helping troubleshoot questions that customers have in our sales team as well. So it's a unique position, and one that I feel like I fit pretty well, and it's I don't think no 2 days will be the same, which is what I kind of like. So
that's true. It's always an adventure in Fertland. One thing, just so everybody knows, if you haven't been paying attention to everything that we've got going on, we did add a full chemical complement to our offerings this year. So we're not just selling fertilizer over at Greene County anymore. We're selling a significant amount of weed controls, fungicides, some growth stimulants, and things like that. So there's a couple of other things. And Josh, in his role as regulatory, has a lot of insight on that, is going to be doing videos for us as well on some of those chemicals. Is there more about that you want to mention?
Yeah, so, one thing I've learned in my, is almost 9 years of regulatory work between two state agencies is that, guys will, get a chemical and they just pour it in the tank and roll on. And, they really don't, look at the label too much. So, and I get it, a lot of the labels are, there's a lot of information in there. Some of them are, 20, 40 pages long. So what I envision doing is doing a video on each one of the products that we distribute. And just maybe 3 to 5 minute videos on the use rates and the weeds that they'll control or insects, diseases that they'll control, and like I said, timings, rates, and proper use. And one thing I want to drive home to is just proper storage and disposal and record keeping, because those are things that I saw as a regulatory inspector that were sometimes overlooked. And so I want to take that regulatory experience and roll it over into this side. And I think there's some insight that I'll be able to help our customers and soon-to-be customers along those lines as it relates to labels.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, as far as going forward here, what do you think is the most exciting part of what we've got going on this year, and what you've seen, and kind of now you came to Lawncology, you got to speak a little bit about, got to interface with a bunch of our customers. What are you kind of getting hyped up about for this year?
So I'm really getting hyped up about the Aerate product, to be honest with you. I've since Lawncology, I've fielded a few phone calls from a couple of guys that were there, some that I knew that came there. They've called me since then, and this product's amazing. Hearing about it and learning about it, I want to know more about it, and so I fielded several of those calls. I want to put some trials out this year with Aerate. I used it personally last year on my home lawn and saw great results with it. I think there's a lot of promise with the product, and so that's one that I'm pretty amped up about. There's others as well. As far as trees and shrubs are concerned, I've ran RGS on shrubbery around at my house over the last growing season and saw a lot of great results. So I want to continue with that this year. So the tree and shrub package, as well as Aerate on turf, is something that I'm pretty amped up about this year, and something I think that our customers will gravitate towards.
I think so too. I think you're absolutely right. Any other exciting parting gifts you want to leave with anybody, or do you need to get back to work? It seems like you've got things going on.
Yeah. So all I want to say is I'm glad to be here and want to be used as a resource. So any questions anybody has, feel free to reach out to me, and let's make this year great. And just I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we couldn't be more happy to have you here either. So that's awesome. All right, buddy. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be checking in with you a little bit later today, but I really appreciate you taking a few minutes here to chat it up.
Sounds great. I appreciate it, John. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
And that's it. Dr. Josh Weaver, everybody. I don't know how easy it's going to be to follow that guy with my next guest, but let's just see if we can do that. Shall we? Hey everybody, it's John Perry from BioGreene USA. Yeah, that's right. That's me. A lot of stuff is the same. Some things have changed, but that is John Perry from 2006. And so we are going to be just taking a little bit of a blast from the past. Now let me explain this video. Back then, I had my spray service running, and I was also trying to get more licensees around the country, because it was kind of like it wasn't a franchise, it was a licensed spray service. So we took the model of everything that I was doing, shared that, branded their vehicles, did the whole thing. So that's really how this all started. So prior to Greene County, this is just kind of the beginning stages of when BioGreene was just starting to go kind of across the country. Let's see what old JP had to say there for a second out in the midsummer heat in Reno, Nevada.
Just taking a look at the grass here, this is nice and thick and really strong, even though it's being cut so short. I would recommend still on this property that the blades come up to about 3.5 inches. But just look at how strong and dense this grass is. Everything seems to be doing really well.
I actually told them that they needed to, well, I advised the camera, I didn't really tell them, that they needed to raise the height on their mower. If I could only have seen the look on my face now, if I had come to my lawn today to see what I was doing with the real mowing, it probably would have been a disaster. But, you know, a few things really haven't changed so much. That sort of dry sense of humor has always been there.
Here we have another one of those weeping spruces. It's on an area that we don't treat here. And while I'm standing here, this tree is actually still getting watered, which I don't think is doing it any good.
There are some cool things in this video, and one thing that I don't talk enough about on here is trees. I don't really get to do that often because it seems like we get so grass dominated. I do some stuff and spray some trees, and you know, I have some videos from the past that are on there, and I think I'm going to do a little bit more focus on that because there is some really good information just in this next little clip that I think is really important, and it's something that people need to hear. Now, just to give everybody some clarity, when I ran that program, I fertilized trees and shrubs 5 times a year. We didn't use any pesticides whatsoever. We didn't use any insecticides. We had nothing going out there but our fertilizer. And I want to just explain this real quick. What was being used at the time was the BioGreen 301. Now that material really evolved up into this entire line that you guys know and love today. All of these next products, all the Greene County products, everything stemmed off of this beginning formula that I had. And we used it for everything. We used it for the lawns and we used it for the trees and shrubs and just sprayed it out there. But it just had incredible results. Now the one that would be sort of the amped up version of that is the 402, the Florida Green. That has actually more minors in it than my 301 did. Negligible amounts of nitrogen and potassium increases, but it just has a more comprehensive package. So check this out.
On this last tree I'm going to show you here, this is actually something very interesting. You can see just where I'm standing up through here, all of this new growth, healthy, large leaf tissue, nice and glossy, really strong. But the most interesting thing about this tree is right when it budded this year, it had a bad infestation of aphids. Now, what aphids normally do is they chew on the new growth of a tree. So just back here, we've got aphid damaged leaves that came in and ravaged the new growth right off the bat. But what we were able to do is put so much energy into this tree with the BioGreen treatments that it managed to grow all of this new healthy leaf tissue, and now the aphids are non-existent. Now this was never treated with a pesticide or anything, any insecticidal soaps. This has only been treated with the BioGreen plant food.
So there you go. That was the fun stuff for today. I just thought it would be kind of cool to put that together. I wanted to show you, hey, here's what's happening now, right? Here is the future, how we're moving forward in the company, changing the way that this whole industry is looking, doing more deeper and deeper research, and bringing on just these fantastic high caliber people like Josh to join my company and really, you know, make this thing go forward, and then go back to the roots and kind of where it all started. It's very funny. But that's it. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. You know, if you did, drop me a comment, and you know, we'll talk soon. So, see ya.